circumstances under which you would be defeated but not say that the election was stolen?
If it was a corrupt election, that could happen. But so far, we're doing pretty well. They found a lot of smaller things in Pennsylvania, as you know, and I think they've been corrupted and taken care of. They were corrupt. They were corrupted, but I think it's been taken care of.
Donald Trump is on a string of terrible rallies, and this one was no different. Because tonight, we saw Donald Trump not only trip over his words, not only confuse himself and say ridiculous things, but we saw a different type of tripping. We saw some stumbling from Donald Trump, clearly not a good look for the man who is denying the accusation that he is in cognitive decline in the final days of this campaign. And it was pretty bad, and we are going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you have it already and you enjoy our channel, then hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now, like I said, this was a stumbly and weird Donald Trump, but of course, he had to focus on his anger first, and he did so in this clip right here.
And I have to begin by saying 250 million Americans are not garbage. This week, Kamala has been comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. And now, speaking on a call for her campaign last night, crooked Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. No way. No way. And they actually mean it, even though, without question, my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lion Kamala. Higher quality. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. That's true.
The idea that President Biden comments calling out the disgusting attack on Puerto Rico made during Donald Trump Madison Square Garden rally were somehow offensive to anyone except the people at that rally. Making those comments is just ridiculous to me, but especially coming from Donald Trump, who consistently calls all of America a garbage can and will attack anyone who doesn't have the exact same beliefs as him. It's utter nonsense. It's utter projection, just like this clip right here.
Kamala Harris, a very low IQ individual, is running a campaign of hate, anger, and retribution. She spends all of her time complaining about everything, but does nothing about it.
Donald Trump continues to go back to this attack on VP Harris, lying and saying that she has a low IQ, which is funny coming from Donald Trump, who speaks at a 4th grade level and had someone take his SATs for him. But besides that, it's just ridiculous because it is a bad attack for him to make. It is off-putting to voters. And so, as I always do, I say to Donald Trump, keep making this attack. VP Harris doesn't care, doesn't bother her. It only hurts you. And speaking of IQs and cognitive decline, of course, Donald Trump tried to set the record straight on his and this clip right here.
These stupid people, they'll say, he's cognitively and physically impaired.
Denying your own cognitive decline while making noises and gestures that show that you're in cognitive decline is not necessarily a winning argument, Donald, in the final few days of this campaign. Like I always say, everything that this guy says, it backfires. This was such a weird rally, and his focus on it was also a little bit from earlier in the day when we saw someone leave Donald Trump's rally in the middle of him talking about how no one leaves his rallies, and that clearly stuck in his head because he said this right here.
And last night, Kamala made a speech with a lot of paid audience. They had a lot of paid audience. They came in buses, the same buses, all those same buses. You know what that means? They bust people in. We didn't bust any people in here. We could have sold this place out 4 times.
Trump cannot get over the fact that VP Harris had a historic rally last night in D.C., 75,000 people. He just can't get over himself. He is obsessed with crowd size. And he is so upset that his continues to shrink. And like I said earlier today, we saw someone leaving Trump rally from behind him while he was talking about how no one leaves. It's just an utter mess from Donald Trump. He's losing his mind. And so is another guy that he praised in this clip right here.
We've been supported by the rank and file membership of the Teamsters, 62%. Think of that. By our beautiful and very brilliant Elon Musk. Do we love Elon?
Why that Donald Trump is praising Elon, considering the stretch of the last couple of days that he has had. He is getting Trump in legal trouble for literally trying to buy votes in Pennsylvania. And today we heard leaked audio obtained by the VP Harris campaign of Elon Musk, saying that Donald Trump economic plan will create hardships in the beginning of his administration, which, yeah, Donald Trump plans aren't really even plans, and those that are his tariffing nonsense would be destructive to our economy. It would be horrible. Every economist has said this. We see business leaders saying VP Harris is better for business. She's better on a lot of things, including health, which Donald Trump doesn't believe. That's why he said this right here.
And we're endorsed also by a very brilliant and wonderful man, and it took a lot of courage for him to do this. As you know, their family's slightly Democrat for the last long period of time. RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy. And he's going to be with us, and he's going to make sure our food is safe, our people are safe, our women are safe. The only thing I don't think I'm going to have him get involved with too much is the liquid gold under our feet. I want to say, look, Bobby, we got a lot of liquid gold, and I like it better than he does, but I'm going to give him a lot. Just take care of everybody's health, and he'll do a great job of it. He's really a very special guy, special.
I don't know who is encouraged by the Trump and Elon or Trump RFK combination. Really scares me. Not a fan of that accommodation. I prefer is VP Harris on Beyonce, which clearly Donald Trump doesn't, because he said this right here.
The worst was 4 nights ago. They got Beyonce. Beyonce. They got Beyonce. They said, ladies and gentlemen, they said Beyonce is coming to sing. And she came, but she didn't sing. And then Kamala came on as Beyonce was leaving without singing even one song.
So tonight was a rally filled with booze and grievance and anger and slipping over words, but it was just as bad as before the rally, which we saw Donald Trump try to do a little political stunt, have a little press conference, and started off with this right here. Yeah, stumbling around is not necessarily a great look for the guy trying to project strength and always trying to act like a macho man. Which, of course, Donald Trump isn't. He's an insecure bully who just attacks anyone who challenges him. And that's exactly what he did when a reporter asked him whether he would respect the outcome of this election. We know the answer, but let's listen to what Trump had to say.
Circumstances under which you would be defeated, but not say that the election was stolen?
If it was a corrupt election, that could happen. But so far, we're doing pretty well. They found a lot of smaller things in Pennsylvania, as you know, and I think they've been corrupted and taken care of. They were corrupt. They were corrupted, but I think it's been taken care of.
On that subject, you called for law enforcement to investigate.
I was going to say, do you anticipate to declare a victory on election night?
I hope that we're going to declare a victory. I mean, they spend all that money on machines. Paper ballots cost you 8% of what a machine costs, 8%. And it's encrypted paper, it's watermarked paper, it's very secure. Your elections would be over at 10 o'clock, and that's when you could announce something and there would be no question. And we're not talking about more money. We're talking about a tiny fraction of the money. You want paper, ideally. You want one-day voting. And I think it's just very important. You have to have the country and you have to have voter ID, and you have a great election. And you're talking about 8% of the cost. It's like very sad when you get machines, you pay all that money, and they talk about 3 days later. I think we're going to have a big enough victory to maybe have it that night. You should always have it, every night. If you look at France, 38 million votes. At 10 o'clock in the evening, it was over. All paper ballots, all voter ID, one-day voting, and it was over. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
He is already laying the groundwork to try to deny this election, and it's very important that we recognize where specifically Donald Trump spent the whole day complaining that the election in Pennsylvania is already being rigged, and so maybe that suggests Donald Trump doesn't feel good about his internal PLLs there, or some combination of reasons to get him to try to deny the results of the election and state that crucial Commonwealth so specifically should really scare us all, and that's why VP Harris is continuing to drive home this message about Donald Trump, like we see right here.
And look, we know who Donald Trump is, right? So this is someone who is not thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power. And look, in less than 90 days, either he or I will be in the Oval Office. Because here's the thing, we know if he is elected on day one, Donald Trump would walk into that office with an enemies list. When I am elected, I will walk in with a to-do list. And at the top of my list is bringing down your cost of living. That will be my focus every single day as president.
He has an enemy list. She has a to-do list. He is fighting to keep themselves out of prison. VP Harris is fighting for us. It couldn't be simpler than that. And it gets really simple when we start talking about the specifics of policy. And of course, we saw that viral video going around of Mike Johnson being caught, saying that he and the rest of the Republicans want to eliminate the ACA. Of course, we knew that before, but his confirmation is just so much more damning. And so VP Harris decided to call that out tonight. This clip right here.
And my plan will lower the cost of childcare, cut taxes for small businesses, and lower health care costs, because I believe health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it.
The contrast in this election couldn't be clear. I am both not ready, but also ready for Tuesday, because the choice should be easy. Come on, people. It is night and day. It is literally the past versus the future. And we're ready to move on and turn that page. And if you want to support that, as you can hit that subscribe button, you can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, you can drop blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.